podcast where we talk about history and our girls.
And today we're going over the timeline of the JFK assassination.
I'm so excited.
Girls, we finally made it.
We finally made it. I feel like I was saying to Blair when I came over, because we're recording from your new apartment, which is huge.
If you're on video, you can
see the background.
The background is different.
Yes.
And new.
But I have such an interest, a deep interest in the JFK assassination. I was obsessed with it when I was more like in middle school and high school. Love.
Okay.
No notes there, as you do.
That is when you're obsessed with like assassinations.
Yeah, it's like I've got like the Wikipedia page open and the other tabs are One Direction fan fiction.
And then JFK.
Updating my Hunger Games Tumblr page and then
Beautiful.
Mainlining some JFK assassination information.
What else are you going to do?
But like I think that's why we also pushed it back for a bit, where I was like, I want to do it right.
Yeah, we got to commit.
And we're going to do a couple episodes.
Yes.
I think we'll do today. We're just going over the general timeline of the events. Mm-hmm. Then we'll obviously do conspiracy theories. I think it's also worth doing the Warren Commission, which is like when they, like that was like the investigation.
That's cool.
Into his assassination.
Yeah. I'm also sitting on the Marilyn Monroe episode.
Oh, bitch.
Which I feel like is going to be a whole fucking thing.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Thank you ever so.
Thank you ever so. And then we have to think about what season we're doing next.
I know. Because
I feel like we aren't sure.
No,
we haven't really talked about it.
We usually think about what we want to do next when we're kind of like, okay.
This is the one.
I've had enough of this. You know what I mean? Let's do this. But I'm enjoying this whole thing because you haven't done Bobby yet either.
No.
We've got some shit to do.
We've got a lot to do. Also, like, it's fun because it kind of expands to the general 60s.
Yes, definitely.
Which is fun. I think we have a lot more fun in the 21st century.
Yeah, because there's a lot more to do than just being like everyone was
or the
so
20th
fucking
century.
Ill.
Yeah, so everyone died of consumption.
Yeah, they were so stinky and smelly.
And then they died of cholera for a bit.
Yep.
And then the woman died in childbirth.
Sepsis.
And then the child died.
Yep.
Sepsis.
All the fun
History
stuff.
is so fun.
History rocks. And nobody dies from those things now. So don't worry about it.
It's cured.
Everyone's been cured and it's good. And its healthcare is really, really equitable.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So if don't even look it up, because you don't need to look it up.
You don't need to know.
No.
But yeah, I was saying to you before we started recording, I feel so much better being in my new place because I think I just felt like truly I was living in a hostel for the last 2 months.
If you know you're moving out, it's hard. We talked about this before, but like it's hard to care about cleaning or taking care of anything because you know you're moving out. But then you're like, I'm just living in kind of like a dirty halfway apartment.
Yeah, and it's like when you look at the floors, I look at the floor and I see it needs sweeping while my guitar gently weeps. Yeah. Or I'm just like, well, I'm not going to do this because like why would I waste mop I want to say mop oil. That's the wrong word.
Why would you waste your mop oil?
Why would I waste my mop oil to mop the floor?
Mops use oil, by the way.
Mops use oil. That's how you get your floors clean.
Really clean.
Yeah. You slip all over them. But so I think I realized too, because we did an immersive improv show in my old apartment.
Oh, so fun.
Which was very fun. So now my old address is on the internet, guys.
You can find it.
You can find if you want to find out where I was living.
I know. That's why I was like, I don't really think I can share this on my public story. Like, do I want to dox Blair? I was like, what's the situation? But yeah, it was fun. We did like, it's basically a show that we do where it's like 30 minutes before an event. Mm-hmm. And this one was 30 minutes before a party. So everyone came into Blair's house and then we start with one big scene where everybody's like talking about who they are and their relationships and what the party is. And then people go off into different rooms to get ready for the party. And there's different stuff going on. It's like Sleep No More.
Except better.
Way fucking better.
Way better.
I was laughing last night thinking about how Ben's character, when we went into the kitchen together after the first scene, he established that he was worried about being canceled because he had glued all of the orphans together at the orphanage. And it did not come into play at all. And it was not even the top 10 most shocking thing.
That's really good.
Yeah. And of course, he established that the person who had died was non-binary.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Which makes it worse.
Yeah, which is more like then it's like, okay, we got to handle this with respectful gloves.
Yeah, we were also doing a lot of race swapping.
I was explaining that to Reese, and Reese was like, there was a lot of race stuff.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, Blair and I weren't like but like the people of color in our group really love to in the group be like, you're Mexican, by the way.
Yeah.
And you have to just be like,
as a fun little trick.
Yeah, to be like, oh, now you've got to deal with you know.
I did endow myself as a person who thought they were Chinese and recently learned that they weren't.
Yes, but that's because your brother in the show
is Chinese.
He was saying he was adopted from China, but they have white people there.
Yes.
And he was an adopted white child from China, and you thought you were Chinese, but you weren't.
Yes, exactly. We were brothers.
I think my character was just white.
Yeah, your character was you didn't do any race swapping.
No.
But yeah, I feel like it's more people love to endow Brendan as being a different race and just watch him deal with
endowed Brendan as Indian.
Which is always fun to watch.
Which is,
because Brendan won't actually say or do anything offensive, but it's really fun to watch him struggle. He's just got a certain je ne sais quoi, where you know that he's not actually like, you know, like he's not someone who wants to do harm onto others, but like he will struggle.
Well, he looks like Connor O'Malley kind of in that way, where it's like he seems like somebody who could be offensive, like a kind of an edgelord, but he's not.
Yes.
But it's like, because he looks like that, when he gets endowed that way, there's a bit more, it feels like there's a bit more risk, even though there actually is way less risk with him than somebody else. Because it's like,
for sure.
So when it happens, you're like, oh, here he's going to do something, but he never would.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, doing it in that apartment, I was like, oh my God, it was so crazy just to see my apartment that I'd lived in for 4 years out of context. And I was telling you, I was getting like very reflective.
Yeah.
At the beginning and like kind of at the end.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh my God, like I was such a different person when I moved in here.
I know.
And like, it doesn't, like 4 years doesn't feel that long, but it really is. And it's like,
especially like your 20s.
Oh my God, almost every facet of my life has changed so much since I moved in there.
That's so crazy.
Except I still work at the same nonprofit. But other than that, pretty much every single other thing has changed.
That's insane, man.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's not that long, but it is. Like, it doesn't, you wouldn't think at the end of 4 years, every facet of your life could be different, but like it could.
But that's like all of high school. That's all of university. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 4 years is a chunk.
It is bananas. Because I feel like when you get into your 20s, you're sort of like, oh, my life isn't going to undergo monumental change the way it did when I was younger.
Definitely.
But it does.
I know.
It really fucking does.
It just doesn't have those concrete markers in the way that when you're in high school or university, you're like, well, at the end of 4 years, I'm going to enter a different facet of my life. But because I feel that way too, where I'm like, well, this is it. But I know that's
how it's going to be forever.
What it's going to be.
No, but it's kind of nice, you know. I think sometimes if you're feeling a little stuck, it's like, well, everything one day will change.
The only constant is change. Like that's like the only thing you can count on, right? Like it's the only thing that will happen.
Yeah. So that was like kind of nice. I kind of wanted to stay and be reflective at the end, but then I was trying to get goaded into going to someone's pool at 2 o'clock in the morning.
When am I going to see this pool? Are we only going to this pool at 3 a.m.? Because like why don't we go to the pool at midnight?
It felt like
I don't want to go to the pool at 3 a.m. I was gone. Let it be said, I went home Cinderella style.
You went home pretty early.
It was way too loud in that apartment.
It was. When you do not have furniture in an apartment, you forget how much it echoes.
Before the show, I was like not locked myself, but I like closed the door in your bedroom just to be alone because I was like, and I'm not, I am pretty sensory sensitive, but I'm usually like, deal. As I've gotten older, I've been able to really deal a lot better, but I was like, I feel like I'm gonna have a meltdown, which is rock because we're about to do immersive improv. So
I came and you were just like sitting on the floor rocking back and forth.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, hey girl.
Hey, I'm excited to do the show.
Do you need anything?
And then afterwards, it was fine, but it was just like, it was so loud. I was like, I can't be here. Like, I feel like I'm going crazy. Like, I woke up the next day, I only had 1 beer, but I felt like hungover.
Oh, I was wrecked yesterday.
Yeah. And then I was rock climbing last night because I was like,
girl, you are in an era.
I know I am. And afterwards, Reese was like, oh, because he was doing an improv show. He's like, oh, we're all at this bar nearby if you want to stop by. And I was like, yeah, that's fun. Walked on the strip of Dupont between Lansdowne and Dufferin. Rough, by the way.
No.
That's a real,
that's a
liminal strip. It's just like mechanics.
Yes.
And that one gas station.
Isn't the Brick there as well?
Yes.
I went to that Brick and it was the weirdest out-of-body experience I've ever had.
The Brick is kind of like a hardware store.
But it
like sells like furniture.
It's a furniture store. It is a furniture store, but the vibe is hardware store.
Yeah.
Like it's not comfortable
nice.
in any
not
sense.
Nice, no.
It's like where you go if you want to stage a house in the suburbs for someone to buy as an investment property.
Yes.
You go and you buy a couch at the Brick.
At the Brick, yeah. So I walked there and then I went to the bar and like it was loud kind of in the bar, but it was just like a bar. And I was like, I have to go.
Was it great or good?
Yeah.
Yeah, huge.
I was like, I have to go. Like, I hate it here. I'm having it. Reese like touched my leg under the table and I was like, this is a nightmare.
No.
Like just I think I was still recovering a bit. You know? And I haven't slept the last 2 nights because I think my brain's just a bit like frayed at the edges, which is fine. But it was quite loud.
You've also had a lot going on, to be fair.
Yes, that's true.
I feel like that being said though, I'm very excited for your book.
I can't wait till it's at a point where people I know can actually read it.
Yeah.
Because it feels so fake. Like Reese hasn't read, like nobody's really read anything.
I think it would be bad for you to, obviously I'm like salivating to read it, but I'm like, if you gave it to me, I think I'd say like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like at this point, until it's like
too,
at least a bit
it's too
out of your
fragile.
hands.
It's too fragile right now.
Yeah.
I think once I get to a point where I'm working on it with an editor, then it's just kind of like, this is getting molded again into what it is.
Like it's free game a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like the worst thing that could happen. Also, you have like truly the most opinionated friends.
Oh, definitely.
You wouldn't have anyone who's just like bar none supportive. Like everyone would be supportive, but everyone would be like, you should add a character whose name is Blair.
Yeah. Yes.
And her hobby is podcast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Or people would be like, I was bored.
Yeah.
I haven't read a book in 15 years, but I didn't like it, you know, or whatever.
You consider taking out the quotation marks? I love Sally Rooney.
I'm a big Sally Rooney fan.
Do you use quotation marks?
Yes.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, I'm not really playing with the form at the moment.
Well,
my goal,
disappointing.
The kind of guiding light I've been kind of going through is like, yes, making it good and all these things, but like I'm trying to make it as accessible as possible because I like it when I can recommend somebody a book and be like, it's really good. It deals with like complex ideas and is really like a good novel, and then it makes you think and feel and all these things. But like tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow,
like you can read it at the beach.
Yeah, I can be like, oh, I know you don't read a lot, but you can read this and you'll like it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's nice. It's going to be a hit.
I hope so.
I feel it.
It's a hit.
It's a hit.
I can't wait. It feels so fake now. We're getting to the point now where it's been long enough, and it hasn't even been that long. People write books for 10 years, but I'm like, it doesn't feel real.
I feel like I didn't realize how long the book process was until talking to you about it.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
I am like cracking away at it. Like I'm working on it every week.
Yeah. But like, when is it coming out? Like fucking like
maybe like probably like if not end of next year, beginning of the next year, I feel.
Which is bananas.
Which is nuts because like we haven't sold it.
And that's like an early timeline if everything goes according to plan.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
Isn't that insane? Which is why you can't really write to trends. Like you're just gonna be fucked. It's like 3 years pass. I can't imagine. But I think we're the timeline we're ideally going through is that it's in a position to be shopped at the end of this year.
Amazing.
And then a year to work on it with an editor, maybe faster.
I think you can do that.
Well, once it's
and then a year to get a beautiful painting done for the cover.
Exactly. Minimum 1 year to get a beautiful painting done for the cover.
Minimum 1 year to hire
whoever did Melodrama by Lord's cover to kind of figure out what's going on there.
I always think about that with book covers because some of them are so good, some of them are so bad. I'm like, so how the fuck are you guys deciding this?
I'm gonna be a nightmare. I actually feel really, really bad for that person. Even though they don't exist to me yet. Because that was a big thing when I was in university. There was a period in my life where, because I was doing like kind of that half graphic design degree, which is so funny now because everything I make online is so shit, which is fun. It's fun. I don't have to try it all. Where I was like, oh, maybe I'll design book covers. Like maybe that will be my job.
I like that.
It's a really hard job to get into.
I imagine. Because right now it seems like they're hiring the same bitch who does those cartoony football players.
It's just that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
What if the football players were gay and they were cartoons?
And Haley Jacobson, she's an author, and when her book first got published, she was like, I didn't really get any say, and I don't like the hardcover that much. And then when it was in the paperback, she got to finally like have like a cool girl paperback, and I was like, I'm gonna be a fucking nightmare. I'm gonna be like, I hate it.
I don't like it.
I really hate it. I know it'll probably be out of style by that point too. You know what I mean? Like who knows what will be the kind of style, but I'm like, I love a painting. And the painting's going to be so overdone by then.
Oh yeah, sure.
But I love the painting.
Yeah, I love a painting. I love just like a penguin style, kind of like.
Very sleek.
Yeah, like I like a nice kind of like. I'm trying to look around at. Is there a cover I like nearby? No, I hate all of them.
Yeah. I mean, there's like books that I love have some covers that I think are actively bad.
Oh, yeah.
Less by Andrew Sean Greer's cover is like insane to me. It's like this book won the Pulitzer Prize and it looks like fucking cartoon football players.
I read that and I was like shocked at the content of the book based on the cover.
Yes.
The cover looked like it was like a fucking like Diary of a Wimpy Kid spinoff.
It literally looks like Diary of a Wimpy Kid
And then the book is about like existentialism.
Yeah, it's about being an aging gay man. It's insane.
It's like, that was the cover?
Or like, I find the cover of The Hours is so fucking ugly, and I love that book.
Yeah, the flower or whatever.
There's one that I have that's just like kind of brown grain. It's just kind of grainy and brown. I hate it.
That's nice.
I would like it to be like colorful and look nice if you have it out.
I like a colorful book because if you have a like too many books that are like black and dark colors or white or whatever, it gets boring.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Joan Didion and the White Album.
Well, yes. Well, yes. Well, yes. One that I really like a lot recently is Miriam Toews' daughter. Her name is Georgia Taves. She just released a book, and it's kind of painting-y, but like very kind of smudged and whatever. And I was like, this is a good kind of. This tells me exactly what kind of book this is. I haven't read the book, but I remember seeing the cover and being like,
I forget the book. It told me what it was, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it was like
Could be anything.
A woman who was bisexual and messy, and I was like, I can't.
Cool.
I'm gonna read this and then be like, so all my ideas. So you stole my idea.
Yesterday, Christina and I were looking up. I was trying to figure out what kind of lesbian she was.
Oh, that's fun.
Because she
really rides a line between. None of them are really a type in the way that like with gay men have like twink, bear. Like there's a bit more of a like.
Yeah, I think with lesbians, I feel like there's a tendency that like anyone who isn't feminine, you're just like, oh, you're butch or you're masked.
Yeah, but she's not really.
She's not really butch, or she's a little bit masked. She's definitely not butch. But like a lot of people will be like, oh, she's butch, and I'm like, she's not.
She's not butch. No. She's just not femme, but the absence of femme does not make a butch.
No, it does not make a butch. But then she was like, okay, I feel a bit chapstick. But I'm like, I feel a bit chapstick.
I know. I think that's true. I feel chapstick in a way. You know what I mean?
I feel like most women are a bit chapstick.
Yeah, like, definitely. Because our definition of femme is so high femme that I think it's almost impossible. I feel like 1% of the population is actually the definition of femme. Like it's such a high standard to actually meet.
Well, and so this is what I was reading. The chapstick is actually like I think what people are calling mask is really like chapstick.
Yeah.
And then you and I would be like femme if we were lesbians, but we're not.
Yeah.
Don't worry, lesbian
guys. Don't worry.
And then there's like lipstick lesbian, which is like high femme. But then there's butch and femme, which are also like titles. Like that is like a subculture. So that's different.
Okay.
So you can be kind of like femme, or you can be a femme.
Yeah.
Which is different.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, and then she was like, well, you can't be any of them because you're not a lesbian. And I was like, okay, facts, true.
Yeah.
Hate crime, but sure. And so I was looking up like types of bisexuals. The
slurs, it's just slur. It's actually like the most offensive shit you've ever read in your life.
The results were killing me. It's like if you look up like what kind of bisexual am I, the first result is like, even if you've never had sex with the same sex, you can still be bisexual.
And you're like, yeah, I know, but what kind am I?
I'm like, what kind am I? And then it was like tribes of bisexuality. And I was like, okay, sure, let's check this out.
I don't know if I'm loving the use of tribes, but
it was
go
like
off.
Disney bisexuals. I was like, no. It was truly, it was awful. It was an awful experience too.
There's a lot of kinds. I feel like there's actually a real kind of like...
Yes.
There's real differences, you know? Well, because there are like, you never could tell. There are people where it's like, you really stealth.
No,
there's a stealth
really
bisexual.
Stealth. You're really
But then
stealth.
there is a very kind of like, what I would describe as like, I don't know what it would be like, somebody who's like tatted with like black hair and baby bangs. You know what I mean?
Fake.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry, bisexuals. I'm one of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is like the homosexual leaning and the heterosexual leanings. And then there's like a true 50-50 bisexual.
Definitely.
Which I thought was interesting. And then there's also kind of like the split attraction model, which is hotly debated, which I kind of just thought was like every bisexual kind of experiences, but maybe I'm wrong.
What is this?
It's just the idea that like you can be like romantically bisexual, like want to date
yes.
Both sexes, but you can be like
sexually in a different
way. Homosexual is sexually hetero, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I don't debate that. I think that's
yeah
legitimate, but I think it is also hard, and obviously you got to understand that like compulsive heterosexuality, and internalized homophobia is something that is oftentimes much more experienced. I think compulsive heterosexuality is created specifically for lesbians because of the force, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because of the force.
Because of the force. The force is with them.
Because of the force.
Yes, because of
Darth Vader.
Yeah, Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, you know, Han Solo.
No, yeah. I understand that it's for lesbians. I get that. But love. But I do think that could be something, like there's something there in terms of like, I feel myself like I am more attracted to men than I would be in a vacuum. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if I was separated from the entire world and then they scanned me, I think I would be less attracted, which love that.
And they took your levels.
Yeah, and they took my levels.
Yeah.
And they were like, that I feel like I'm more attracted to men just because of society.
Yes. Well, yeah, because I was like, well, like, okay, so like We were really getting into it last night.
I love that.
It was like a very kind of like tonally
You're
casual
watching
conversation.
Herbie Fully Loaded?
Yeah, I was watching during Herbie Fully Loaded. We were really having this discourse. But I was like, if we ever opened up our relationship, probably the only thing I would be comfortable doing was having a sexual relationship with a man. Because if I had a sexual relationship with another woman, it would denote an emotional connection.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Demi
Which
Queen.
I think is kind of worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like I have a way harder time developing emotional connections to men than to women in dating.
So you could in a lot more, like if you were open, you can totally see a reality in which you're having sex with men with no emotional connection, but it's a lot harder with women. You're like, I probably would in some way.
I would probably at least like care about you in a way that like would push it into like an emotional affair where I don't think the same would happen with a man.
Yeah, love.
Not to be so bad about that. But yeah, anyway, how do we get on this? Lesbians?
Types of lesbians.
I
don't know how we got there, but that is interesting.
It's really, But yeah, anyway. So it turns out, also just like, some of them are so fake where there's like, no, there's cottagecore lesbians. I'm like, I just don't really think that's a kind.
That's a type of person.
That's just like.
That's not like a lesbian. I mean,
that's
not
you
that's
showing
not like
up
a bisexual.
in a little headscarf. Like, yeah. Let's be real.
Clocked.
I love the headscarf.
Clocked.
Honestly. I almost wore a shirt in that pattern. That I was like,
wouldn't
it be fun if I wore that? And then I didn't. But anyway.
Should we talk about the JFK assassination?
Let's talk about the JFK assassination. Yeah. Let's take a little break and then we'll hop right in. Yeah. I'm wearing, I got Dailies contacts.
How are you loving that?
Oh my God, it's awesome, but they're so expensive. So I feel like I kind of have to treat them like gold.
Yeah, you're like, I'm wearing my contacts on Thursday.
Yeah, like I'm wearing them today because today's a day.
Yeah, you're getting. I think I should do that because I used dailies when I went to sleep no more, and then I couldn't really get one out of my eye.
Oh, that's tough.
I have very dry eyes because I look at screens all day, and it like got suctioned, and I was like, I've got to pull this, and then it was fine.
Yeah,
but I got to just do that. I've got to commit to myself to getting some more dailies.
Yeah,
do they expire?
I think they do, but
okay.
It takes
Did you just order them online?
I ordered them on clearly.ca. They're a lot cheaper if you don't have astigmatism, which I have.
Brag, huge brag about your astigmatism.
That I have to pay $300 fucking for 3 months of contacts.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Yeah, well, it's 90 sets, and I paid. Okay, so it wasn't 300. It was like 200 something.
No, I'm just always surprised. I mean, that's the same thing. When I had to get my new glasses,
they're so expensive.
I hate my new glasses. They look exactly like my old glasses, but instead of the those little pads.
Oh yeah.
The ones I had before were like a plastic rubber, and now these ones are metal.
Oh, that's nice.
And I don't like the metal, but I don't think I actually don't like the metal. I think I'm resisting change.
Yeah, that was like when I got my new glasses. I was like, I look stupid, and these hurt me, and they're giving me pimples, and I was like, I look functionally the exact same.
This is exactly. I think the way that if I find something that works for me, I will do it until the end of time. Like I got. This kind of glasses when I was like 16 and they look good. And then I just got the same. I basically get the same exact kind. Like basically physically exactly the same. I have my pair from high school that I like the most. I just got to get the new lenses in. I got to go to some fancy
totally
whatever.
Do that.
But it looks exactly the same and it's been like 10 years now. But it's like if I find one thing that I like, I'm like, I don't. Glasses are tough too because you have to wear them all the time. I do kind of like, and I would like to get like a little plastic, like the plastic clear kind, just for like wearing. I feel like it'd be nicer to wear. It wouldn't be as uncomfortable and they look cute.
I know. I really wanted to get like a statement pair of glasses, like something in like a red or a green, and like like it kind of makes an outfit. Like if I'm auditioning for Nerd or something. But it's actually really expensive to just get a.
That's the thing that's
second pair of glasses.
No, that's exactly it. Where I was like, I would love to have like 2 pairs of glasses.
Yeah.
But I'm not in the mood to burn $400. So
dude,
for not designer glasses, like these are regular ass. I'm sorry, fucking This is not like I'm not getting like a Ralph Lauren set of glasses
made by Hakeem at Hakeem Optical
and a Hakeem original at Hakeem. Like this is $350.
I need to figure out my fucking insurance, dude. It's not even funny. Yeah. I really hope I've
got to get insurance at this point now.
I know it's hard. Christina has amazing insurance, obviously, because she's a lawyer.
You'll be common law eventually.
Not soon.
2 years?
Yeah, I think another 2 years. So, or maybe you
could backdate it.
Yeah, I'll backdate it. I'll lie.
Yeah, just lie.
But I think I have insurance. I just can't access it.
Yeah,
because I'm locked out of the fucking system. Whatever. Anyway. JFK assassination. Let go.
Let's go. I'm so excited.
Can't wait. Also, it's so fun to record in person again.
I know. It's been a moment.
Yeah.
We've been fighting for our lives.
Yeah.
And now we can finally chill.
And fighting in real life. We've been having arguments.
I famously have told you that I really want for our improv troupe, Mrs. Beast, to start sowing seeds of dissent online and like fighting online, and people are like, what's wrong with them? Like, they're fighting.
That's good.
And then it's all promotion for an improv show. Mrs. Beast works it out. Where it's like we get together for one rehearsal and we kind of create like a mind map of who's fighting with who, why, and who's on whose side. Kind of World War I style. It's being like, well, if Tim and Brendan are fighting, who's on whose side because of that? Like, you're on Brendan's side, so then I have to be on Brendan's side because I'm on yours. Do you know what I mean? Those kinds of things. And then we start kind of like breadcrumbing it on social media, and the people are like, what's wrong with that?
That's really good. And then like eventually it turns into a real fight.
Yeah,
because we're like, well, obviously I'll be on Brendan's side if you guys ever fought.
And everyone's like, what?
It's like, okay, so now we're
so we're actually fighting.
So we're actually fighting now. Yeah. We're actually having a fight. That's really funny.
We're going to a cottage with our improv troupe as well. And
I can't wait. We're going to make 45 TikToks.
Yeah. Minimum.
And not good ones.
No, you said at the pool when we were talking about that, and it is so funny. If like, we're just going to bang 30. My name is Vic, and I'd really like to meet you.
You recommended to me by some people.
25 of those. And then
back to back.
And then we will figure out the text later.
And then we just like bulk post them within an hour.
Yeah, we're like
there's no spreading it out.
There's no spreading out.
One of them's got to hit the algo.
Right? Okay. So we'll talk about before the assassination and key points that you need to know. Okay? So what I will say is, spoiler alerts, the basic shit you need to know. On November 22nd, 1960, what is it? 7? I mean, you know me in numbers.
2?
I have it written down.
61.
63.
63.
Okay. 11/22/63. JFK is shot while he's doing like a presidential motorcade through Dallas. Yeah. He is shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. Okay? That's what you need to know. That's like the base level shit.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And a lot of people are like, this is the end of the 60s. 60s, short fucking decade. Or was it the start of the 60s?
It was the end of the 50s. It was the start of the 60s. Yeah,
50s long.
50s really long because 50s end of World War II to JFK.
Yeah, so it goes into both. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of start of the 60s. They talk about that, I think, a bit in the White Album. Isn't that something that Joan Didion talks about? It being like the 60s, the president was shot, so then the 60s started or whatever. People are not feeling good. This is not good. Cold War happening. Vibes not good. So some key points. We're going to just basically go date by date consecutively until the end of the assassination and the arrest and all this stuff.
Okay.
This is just a like a base level kind of knowledge thing.
Yeah, this is a timeline so we can then zoom in.
Exactly.
Yes.
And if you know anything about me and numbers, we fight, right? So I'm going to try and say these dates correctly, and I really, really will try. Dysnomia is real. I'm living proof. I'm a survivor. I am living every single day. It's not actually the physical toll, it's the mental toll that I have to overcome of not being able to say numbers correctly.
Barreling the camera on that speech.
Yes.
Just looking directly in the frame.
Yes. Okay, so
by the way,
October 24th, 1956, Lee Harvey Oswald drops out of high school and joins the U.S. Marine Corps, where he is trained as a sharpshooter.
Aww.
Chekhov's
sharpshooter.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to come into play.
Chekhov's high school dropout.
Exactly. That's honestly a good name for something.
I know. My album.
Chekhov's high school dropout. That's not bad.
Nah, I graduated. I
did too. Not university. But maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll go back. I think my true truth is that not now, but I think when I'm gonna like have an experience in my 40s, which means I will leave everything behind and become a bird scientist.
That's really beautiful.
I think that will happen to me.
That's really nice. I could see myself getting a random degree just for fun if I'm ever like
life
steady enough in my real career.
There's a book, Red Mars, which I haven't read, but Reese and I talk about it a lot because it's one of his favorites. It's like a sci-fi whatever about people living on Mars. But they get to the point where humans live to be like 200, 250.
Oh my God.
And because of that, like people just spend like 20 years learning to paint because your life is just so much, you have so much more time.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know?
I like that.
So I'd like to kind of be there, be able to be like, I'm going to be a bird scientist now for a bit. And now I'm going to oil paint.
I'm going to be an archaeologist.
I would love that. We can meet up.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig up the bird bones.
And I'll be like, whoa.
That's a
well, you know, pigeons are a part of the same family as Tyrannosaurus rexes.
That's cool.
Theropods.
That's awesome. Wow, you're well on your way to being a bird scientist already.
I know one thing. I bought a book from the bookstore that's all about pigeon watching because pigeons are my favorite bird.
Yeah, pigeons are amazing.
And I've been learning about them.
I feel like I got you on pigeon side.
You definitely did. No, you did. There is a before and after. You sent me that fucking comic.
That comic ruined my life.
Comic destroyed me. We talked about the comic before, but it's basically just a comic from a pigeon's perspective, being
God.
like, I used to be humans' pets and they were nice to me, then they threw me out.
And now I remember a time when I was loved.
It was awful.
I'm like crying thinking about it. It's terrible.
Awful. It was awful. It was awful. And now I carry around little unpopped popcorn kernels because I asked a bird scientist on Reddit what I should feed pigeons. Because the unpopped popcorn kernels make other birds blow up, but they don't make pigeons blow up.
Because pigeons are strong. Do you ever feel like the most damning social media account that could ever be found about me is my Reddit?
100%. It can't happen.
If anyone ever, I will not
happen.
I will not let anyone see my Reddit. No one can know what it is.
No, there was a period like a couple weeks ago where it came up on my algorithm, like on my Reddit, and it was like, because I used to work for Street Sense at CBC, and somebody was like, what happened to all the original hosts of Street Sense? They're all gone.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because Mercedes, the one who was last there, now is moving to news, which is great. She's always wanted to work in news.
Oh, amazing.
Which is awesome. I'm happy someone got one thing they wanted out of that program.
I've met her. She's nice.
She's amazing. And she's just like absolute. I've never met somebody on their grind set more than Mercedes. Works her fucking ass off. But somebody had commented that, and people were like, oh, I'm sure they just probably it's like a springboard show. They went to do other stuff. And I was like, I really want to comment being like, I have a friend who knows one of them. The boss is awesome.
Boss is amazing. Really supportive.
Really, really amazing.
Yeah.
And I didn't, because I was like, if this is it, I cannot have any proof. Not that I'm doing bad shit. I just it's fucking embarrassing.
Oh yeah, no.
It's embarrassing.
No, I'm the same.
It's
no
like,
one
who's
needs
in
to...
r/pigeons and r/Olivia Rodrigo?
No one needs to see the Reddits I'm a part of.
No.
No one needs to see that.
That's not for other people to know. That's between me and God.
Me and God.
Yes.
No one can see my Reddit.
Okay. So October 31st, 1959. Halloween. Lee Harvey Oswald defects to the Soviet Union and is sent to work at an electronics factory in Minsk. Okay?
Okay.
Because he's kind of, we'll get into this a bit, but Lee Harvey Oswald just is mentally unwell, as is with many people who do commit acts of mass violence, whether or not you agree with the reasons why, which is why I think eco-terrorism is so fascinating to me, because it's something that I really do agree with the reasons why we are doing it. But I don't want to shoot someone in the head. That's not really my area.
Yeah.
That's not where I'm jumping. But if somebody's like, I'm going to use my sniper rifle and shoot any president in the head, they're not rocking. No. And whether or not the cause is just or not, it's not with JFK. He just was a bad guy. Lee Harvey Oswald was just unwell. He is kind of obviously very male mental health crisis. Lee Harvey Oswald is.
Yeah.
He's looking for something because he joins the army. He joins the military, which is something people often join. Obviously, financial reasons, but also for structure, reasoning,
yes, for sure,
purpose. Defects to the Soviet Union, comes back to America. Lives in Texas.
It's weird to defect to the Soviet Union
and then come back.
That's weird.
And then tries to defect to Cuba, and they're like, you are too mentally ill. And tries to defect again to the Soviet Union, and they're like, you are too mentally ill. You cannot.
Oh my God.
And then comes back and is and then kills JFK. And he kills JFK because he's a Republican, and he's an alt-right whatever.
Yeah, sure.
But he obviously also was a leftist communist sympathizer when he defected to this. He's searching for something. Do you know what I mean? This is not, I think people this is maybe part of the reason why there are so many conspiracy theories about the JFK assassination. And I could talk about this forever. And if somebody disagrees with me, I'd love a disagreement, because that just is genuinely fascinating to me. Where it's I think the reason why there are so many conspiracy theories is because the way that somebody thinks when they are pushed to this point is inherently illogical.
Yeah.
So people go, oh, he must be a sleeper cell. Oh, he must be working as a greater conspiracy that we'll never get the answer to.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Well, it's no.
Yeah.
It's not actually the case.
Definitely. And you see this even a bit. I thought it was very interesting before they had caught Luigi Mangione, the press was very, very much on this whole like this is a conspiracy. This is a organized hit. This is done by a professional. And whether or not this is true or not, when I was reading online about it, a lot of people were like, they say this because they don't want you to think you can do this, right?
Yes.
The narrative is this is something that only a professional and a group of organized individuals can do. So you don't go, oh,
I'm going to try that.
Because the thing that they're most terrified of, and not to like, I don't want somebody to read this. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want this to be like a Mark David Chapman Catcher in the Rye thing where somebody's like, girl historians made me shoot Nancy Pelosi. So don't do that. But like, the thing that the ruling class and the people who benefit from the status quo they do not want you to think that you can enact change.
Yes.
And they don't want to be scared of you. Like they are terrified of the idea that we will all realize that, if I could get a gun, I could probably kill someone with a lot of impact. And then I'd go to jail, but I could do that. They'd be dead, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then once they caught him and it's seen as like a failed attempt, even though he did shoot that CEO, then it's like, this is one twisted man. This is one mentally ill man. So
it's not.
No, it's like, well, also I would argue, when I've been going climbing, me and my friend Anna we've been really digging into Luigi Mangione.
Your climbing era is crazy.
Yeah, it's just me, Anna, and these two guys who have recently moved here from Ukraine, and it's just and we're gabbing gabbing about Luigi Mangione, and I'm learning a lot because obviously when you come from like a country that's like dealing with considerable shit than Canada, you have different thoughts on violence.
Yeah, you've
You're
got
like,
opinions.
violence is bad.
It's like, no, but what if it's Luigi Mangione?
But what if he's an Italian American hero?
Yeah.
And the thing that I think that's interesting about all that is like, yeah, he is obviously mentally ill, but like society makes you mentally ill. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's mentally ill, but like in the way that like I'm mentally ill. Like society makes you mentally ill because like society is bad.
Your society kind of fucks you up.
Yeah, like that's not. Anyways,
Sure.
All that's to say is like, I wonder if there's a conspiracy. I am one of the lone, I feel like, believers of the soul shooter theory that I don't think was a part of a greater conspiracy. But again, I love to argue about that.
Yeah.
Because I think I wonder if that narrative got started to be like, don't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
No, 100%. Well, because it's like, it's so interesting to me always because it's like, okay, so if this is going to be like a country where like you have access to guns and that's a big thing that you guys make a big deal out of.
Everyone's mentally ill.
Everyone's mentally ill because like capitalism is crazy and has ruined everyone's lives. And then on top of that, you have like a rich history of giving men guns the moment they turn 18 and join the military or the militia or something.
Yeah.
And then you're going to try and convince us that like no single person can pick up a gun and kill a politician without them being part of like evil eye conspiracy pyramid.
Definitely. Like, and there's no social safety net, right? So it's like people, it breeds this culture of desperate individuals with nothing to lose,
which is always how good decisions get made.
Yeah. And if you don't understand, I understand that I'm trying to speak this in a way that if you aren't somebody who's got a rich history, and with the JFK assassination, the sole shooter versus the lone shooter theory versus the other conspiracies is like, at the end of the day, the Warren Commission, which is the commission that was looking into and investigating the JFK assassination, rules that Lee Harvey Oswald was acting alone when he shot JFK. And there are lots of people who have different kind of conspiracies, whether or not there was other witnesses who said they saw two people. There's their famous second shooter on the grassy knoll, one of my all-time favorite
grassy knoll
societal references.
I love the grassy knoll.
I'm open. I would love to be proven wrong about the grassy knoll. I go day to day. I change. There are moments in my life where I'm like, I am a grassy knoll truther. There was a second shooter on the grassy knoll. There are times when I'm not. It's all just fascinating to me. But for the sake of this, we are going to discuss it, at least in terms of the timeline, as if Lee Harvey Oswald is acting alone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Makes sense.
We're only on like the second bullet point, so I should just start.
I'm going to do an episode that's just on the grassy knoll, its history, how it came to get so grassy.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the real kind of that's the anti-hero.
Yeah, exactly.
The Kennedy assassination, the grassy knoll.
No one gives him his flowers.
Yes.
Just grass.
Basically a year later, after Oswald defects to the Soviet Union in October of 1959, in November of 1960, John F. Kennedy wins the United States presidential election.
Let's fucking go.
Lefty Catholic. And he's not that lefty. Like he's pretty like, he's kind of like Obama, where Obama was like, I have to be the biggest war criminal in the world if the United States will allow a black man to be president. I feel like
gotta make up with it with war.
Yeah, he's like, where it's like JFK is like, there's actually nothing I love more than the Red Scare. Like, your neighbor could be a communist, which is bad, by the way.
I hate communism. I love Beyonce.
Exactly. America. So that's in 1960. June 13th of 1962, Oswald returns to the United States with his wife, Marina, and their child to live in Texas.
He gets laid and as a kid?
Yes.
Dude.
Yup.
Can't do it
so that's in June.
Days.
In October of 1962, Oswald rents a P.O. box under his real name at the Dallas post office, and he will maintain this rental until May of 1963.
Okay.
And then November 6th of 1962, Democrat John Connally is elected to the governor of Texas. Okay? That's kind of part of it.
Cool.
So now we'll talk about the events in the year of 1963 leading up to the assassination that we need. That's just kind of like random stuff, so you know, like JFK is the president, and Oswald
isn't doing well, but is getting his dick wet.
Defects to the Soviet Union, has a kid, gets his dick wet, gets a wife, moves back.
Yeah,
undefects.
Crazy.
Which feels like that's you know what I mean? I'm like,
they just let white men do anything.
It's this specifically. I'm like, guys, there was so, and I think this is probably true with so many kind of these acts of violence where I'm like, so no one was paying fucking attention.
No, it's
crazy. No one was paying attention to this guy.
Because it's like obviously, I'm not saying that we should like, you know, like flag people or whatever, call the cops for no reason, but like, guys, come on.
Yeah, it's like there's people who act erratically and they're like, well,
who could have known?
There was no signs. There was really no signs with him.
A couple of
except
signs.
when he ordered a rifle to his P.O. box. How are we to know that he was planning to do something? He was just buying a big, long machine gun.
Yeah, he was just having a long machine gun after getting inspired to get a machine gun by being in Russia.
Exactly. And he came back. What happened in Russia, by the way? Why was he coming back?
Why were the Russians mad at him?
Yeah, what did he do?
What did he do in Russia
that they were like...
that he had to leave?
He had to leave Russia.
They let you do anything there.
Yeah. Well, except be gay.
In Soviet Russia,
gay
shoots you.
Yeah.
Or
you can't have weed. That was the Brittany Griner thing, which is we can't talk. We'll be here all day if we talk about that.
My high school friend was Russian, and she was from Russia, and she had 3 kidneys.
Whoa! So there's good stuff happening there too.
Yeah, but she used to hate those in Soviet Russia jokes that were going around when I was in high school.
Aren't they from the 50s? Isn't the fucking Soviet? Aren't those jokes being?
I don't know. The ones in Soviet Russia.
The third comedian in the world invented those jokes when they were going around your high school.
She didn't like them. She did not like them.
My culture's not a costume.
She had to pee a lot because she had 3 kidneys.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Okay, that is genuinely interesting. Okay, so in January 15th, 1963. James Connally takes oath as governor of Texas. As governor, he will assist with planning for President Kennedy's trip to Texas and will serve as Kennedy's host. Connally was a conservative Democrat at the time. He later switches parties in 1973 to Republican. That's not really important, but it's just so you kind of understand. Like, part of the reason that Kennedy is going there is because Texas, and much in the way it has been considerably since then, is being like, there will be these kind of pockets of blue, and then there's a lot of tension between the Democratic politicians and the Republican politicians.
Sure.
So he's like, I'll show up.
Some things never change.
Exactly. Okay, February 22nd, Ruth Payne meets Lee Harvey Oswald at a party held at Everett Glover's house. Lots of interesting names in this story.
They don't name them like they used to.
No Ruth Payne.
No Ruth Payne or Everett Glover.
She is a former... Ruth Payne comes up in this just a bit because she'll come more into play because she's a key witness for the Warren investigation. She's just she's Lee Harvey Oswald. Her title officially is very funny to me because it's Lee Harvey Oswald's former friend. Like, she's like, not anymore. Obviously, we didn't have time to talk about it to really set a boundary, but if he was alive, I would be setting that boundary. Great. So that's in February. So she meets the Oswald. She meets them at this party.
Mm-hmm.
On March 13th, Klein's Sporting Goods of Chicago receives a mail order amount of $21, $199 plus $150 for postage and handling for the item of a C-2750, a World War II surplus Italian rifle.
Oh dear. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So he's ordered a rifle for $20 online.
And you can't do that anymore.
A Temu ass rifle.
Me and my Shein rifle.
Yeah.
My Temu bullets.
Yeah, there's a really funny joke in Scream Queens where one of the characters wants to kill herself like Cleopatra with
the
asps. Yeah, so she gets asps from AliExpress, but they're just stuffed animals because it's AliExpress, so it's all shit. And I'm like, that is pretty funny.
That's really funny. You get the machine gun, it's like teensy tiny.
Yeah, it's plastic.
It's for a G.I. Joe.
Yeah. The name on the order slip is A. Hidell, which is an alias used by Oswald, and the delivery address is his Dallas post office box.
Sure.
And they send him the rifle. He gets a rifle to his P.O. box.
I love that.
Normal, regular. And again,
Normal
if anybody I know has an alias,
it's done.
We should be asking questions.
Okay, Carly. Wow.
Well, your Uber account is in a different name.
That's true, actually. So you really got me there. Clocked my ass. Okay. Alexandra on Uber.
Yeah, Alexandra on Uber. 5 days later, on the 17th, Marina Oswald sends a letter to the Soviet embassy in Washington, D.C., asking to be granted an entrance visa to the USSR. And so she's like leaving him.
Okay, cool.
And Oswald is given notice in the latter part of March that he will be terminated from his job.
Okay, cool.
He's working at a place called Jagger, Childs, and Stovall, which is a photographic firm that makes classified maps for the U.S. Army.
That's where Lee Harvey Oswald's working.
Yes.
I couldn't get a job at the Bay.
I know.
This guy's working at the classified map store?
Yes.
Fuck off.
As like a print technician for these classified maps.
They let white men do anything.
Literally anything.
Oh, you just got back from Russia? You're perfect to write our maps.
Our classified
our secret
US
maps.
Army maps. Yeah. Which is also, I think, fair. I think this is also why people are like, he has to be a Russian spy. Like, why else would we be so fucking stupid? Like, there's got to be some kind of... He's using tear gas to compel them, you know?
Oh, my God.
So he works his last day in April at Jagger, Childs,
You
and
don't have to
Stovall.
repeat it yet.
Yes.
We get it. Is it Stovall spelled like Stoofville?
Stovall.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so that's on April 6th. 4 days later, on April 10th, Oswald fires a bullet that narrowly misses a retired General Edwin Walker. He is a strongly anti-communist right-wing advocate. So this is him trying to do kind of domestic terrorism assassination for the left.
Okay, sure.
But then he switches his tune because it didn't work out the first time.
Yeah.
So, the police determined that the shot was fired from a distance of less than 40 yards, and the case remains unsolved until 2 weeks after Oswald's death, when his wife, Marina, informs the FBI that it might have been her husband who fired the shot.
Damn.
Might have been.
Might have been him. I don't know, though.
We don't know for sure. On April 23rd, Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson, a Texas native, tells reporters in Dallas that President Kennedy may visit Texas sometime that summer. Johnson hopes that Kennedy's schedule will allow him to have a breakfast in Fort Worth, a luncheon in Dallas, and an afternoon tea in San Antonio.
Lovely.
Oh, that's your cat.
Yeah, sorry. I think I heard Jim.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Jim.
Hey, Jim. Her cat's in the hutch.
Yeah, the cat's been hiding out in the MCM hutch. You think you got a great piece of furniture, and then the cat
is just like, this hutch is mine now.
The hutch is mine.
How does she get into it?
There's a hole in the bottom because it used to have a record player in it.
Oh, okay. So she climbs into the little hole.
She climbs into the hole. It's actually kind of a big
But you
hole.
can open the
You can open the top, but there's shit on it. So.
Oh, that's so funny. It's like a little box
honestly,
for her.
The one time I opened to look inside there, she hissed at me, and I was like, you know what? This is your hiding place. I think I should just let her have a hiding place.
Yeah, she wants to feel safe.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. So that's on April 23rd. On April 24th, in the late evening, Oswald leaves Dallas by bus for his hometown of New Orleans, seeking better employment opportunities. Just keeping updated on his whereabouts. June 5th, President Kennedy, Johnson, and Connolly, the governor, are together in a meeting in El Paso where they agree for a second presidential visit to Texas later that year. So they're like, this is going to happen.
Okay.
And we'll get into why he's going, because that's important as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes. So Kennedy decides to embark on this Texas trip with 3 goals in mind. First, to raise more Democratic Party presidential campaign funds and contributions. 2, to begin his quest for re-election in November of 1964. And 3, because the Kennedy-Johnson ticket had barely won Texas in the 1960 election, even though Johnson is from Texas, to mend political fences among several leaders in the Texas Democratic Party, because at this point, the Democratic Party of Texas is kind of like eating itself alive.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's in June. So now we can skip the whole summer. The next thing that happens that's of importance is in September 27th.
Okay, cool.
Lee Harvey Oswald arrives in Mexico City for some reason.
Okay, cool.
He's going to CDMX.
He's a jet setter.
Yes, and he registers at the Hotel de Comercio. He visits the Cuban consulate 3 times in an attempt to secure a visa, and they say, absolutely not.
How the hell is this guy getting around?
I know. And then
plane tickets like $12.
Yes.
Jesus.
You can just take a bus anywhere. And then
it's the 60s.
Exactly. And then he also visits the Soviet embassy to obtain a visa, and they're like, absolutely not. You are overtly mentally ill.
Why is he trying to get visas?
He wants to leave for some reason. I don't know what his journey is, but he's just like very, to me, the Lee Harvey Oswald is very like lost. Like he's very much like, I'm going to live in Russia and that's going to be awesome. And then he lives in Russia, gets a wife. He's like, I hate it here.
Is his wife Russian?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, cool.
I don't know for sure, actually. So much, this is like in the recesses of my mind, so I'm actually going to check that right now. Because somebody else is going to be like, that's absolutely not true.
Hey.
Okay.
You never know.
She was born in the Soviet Union, and then she immigrated to the United States.
Good for her.
So, yeah, he tries to get into Cuba and the Soviet Union as because he's kind of like communist leaning at this point, and then they're like, no, and he goes, okay,
cool.
Let me lock in and kill Kennedy. So that's on the 27th. On the 30th, he purchases a bus ticket using the alias Mr. H.O. Lee, and the bus leaves Mexico City for Laredo, Texas at 8:30 a.m. on October 2nd. October 3rd, Oswald arrives in Dallas and spends the night at the YMCA.
I'm good to stay at the
YMCA.
You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal.
On October 4th, Governor Connolly meets with President Kennedy at the White House to plan his trip in November to Dallas.
Sure.
Oswald applies for a job at a different printing place, but is not hired because of his poor recommendation provided by the president of Jagger, Childs and Lovett.
He sucked at making the secret maps.
Yeah, he was not very good at making the
He was always
secret
telling
maps.
people where the secrets were instead of writing them down on the map.
Exactly.
I'm Mick Jagger, by the way. I own a map company.
With John Lovitz. Okay, and then Oswald returns to stay at the Payne's residence in Irving for the weekend. Okay?
House of Pain.
The House of Pain.
Damn.
On October 15th, Ruth Payne calls the Texas School Book Depository and arranges for a job interview for Lee Harvey Oswald. The building superintendent is Roy Truly, which is a funny name to me.
These names are nuts.
It's the 60s.
Roy Truly here.
Roy Truly interviews Lee Harvey Oswald later that day and hires him for $1.25 an hour as a temporary clerk filling customer book orders. Okay,
Sure.
And he starts work the following day.
Sure.
November 8th, it is announced that First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy will be resuming her official White House duties on November 20th, more than a month earlier than was expected, and they had canceled it before because of the premature birth and death of Patrick Kennedy, their baby.
Yeah.
Okay?
They lost a kid right before the assassination.
Yeah, in August, and
Tough.
then in November he gets shot.
Tough.
These Kennedys, man. Like, things are not...
it's not looking
good for the Kennedys. Okay.
It's tough to be a cursed family.
It's tough to be a cursed family.
It's tough to be a cursed family.
On November 9th, Lee Harvey Oswald is driven by Ruth Payne to take his driver's test, but it is there's a special election that day and the office is closed.
That would make me want to shoot the president, personally.
Around 2 p.m.
So wait, sorry. He's been bopping around fucking everywhere. He doesn't know how to drive.
No.
I'm so angry.
But around 2 p.m. that day, he test drives a new red Mercury Cadillac. It's like a 2-door hardtop at a dealership.
What the fuck?
And he tells the salesman Albert Bogard that he will be back to buy it in 2 weeks.
It's like a Tarantino movie. Jesus.
Exactly. He'll be back to buy it in 2 weeks when he has a $300 down payment. But he won't be back in 2 weeks because he will be shooting the president in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So people use that sometimes to be like, he was getting paid to do it. He was going to buy his little red car afterwards.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I don't know. He seems kind of just insane.
Yeah.
Like, he just kind of seems like
Because he's doing anything.
he's just he doesn't get his like, oh, the post office is, the driver's test is closed because of the special election. I'm gonna test drive a red convertible.
Just in case. I really want to drive a convertible. But I don't have my fucking license.
But they don't care because it's the fucking 60s.
No. Nothing counts.
Okay, now we're on the day, November 22nd, 1963. This is, now we're going through like timeline, like we're going to talk about time specifically when things happen.
Perfect.
Because he really, are you familiar with the kind of Allison and PLL timeline where in Pretty Little Liars, it's about Allison like disappears on this one night.
Okay, yeah.
And then as the series goes on, you kind of get more information about what she was doing that night.
Yeah.
But because the writers don't know where they're going, they inadvertently create this nuts timeline where she's like blackmailing a dad. Her brother is trying to hit her in the head with like a hockey stick, and then a blind girl is chasing her. Like this, she's like around town. Over the course of 6 hours, she was in like 27 different locations.
Yeah.
So when somebody, like when Mike, who's a YouTuber, did like the big rewatch, he went beat by beat what she was doing this night, and it's nuts. And that's kind of Lee Harvey Oswald.
That's really funny.
This day. I think that's another reason why there are conspiracy theories about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit like, have you ever listened to Serial?
No.
In Serial, when they're trying to figure out if Adnan Syed, who is in jail for murdering this girl, they're trying to figure out if it's him or not. They do his like version of the events of the day to see if it's physically possible, like what the police are positing can happen, and they're like, it can happen if nothing goes wrong, kind of vibes.
Okay, cool.
This is a tight squeeze. Like Lee Harvey Oswald gets up to a lot. So I think another conspiracy theory is being like, what? Like he shot someone in cold blood and then is at the movie theater 7 minutes later. Like how? So there's a bit.
It's nuts. Yeah.
So at 7:23 a.m., Lee Harvey Oswald arrives to work at the Texas School Book Depository carrying a long paper-wrapped package, which is his rifle. He wraps the rifle in wrapping paper and brings it to work.
They let white guys do anything.
A young worker there named Buell Wesley Fraser.
I can't. Stop telling me the names. It's derailing the episode.
He asks Oswald, Buell Wesley Fraser asks Lee Harvey Oswald, what is in this package? Why did you bring this fucking long? It's like, in the Harry Potter movies when
like, what is it?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, the broom-shaped package?
Yeah, they've wrapped it so tightly. It's obviously a broom. That's what I'm imagining. Like, it's never been more obviously a rifle in your life. Like, it's so a rifle.
Hey, what's in that rifle-shaped package you got there?
And then
don't worry about it, Buell.
Oswald says, oh, just some curtains. He brought his curtains to work at 7 a.m.
The sun was shining in the room.
And Buell goes, okay. At 8:45 a.m., President Kennedy gives a speech at the Fort Worth Chamber of Commerce.
Why not?
At 10:40 a.m., Kennedy's motorcade leaves Hotel Texas for Caswell Air Force Base, and he tells his wife, we're heading into nut country today.
JFK says that to Jackie.
And he's right.
That's really funny.
And he's right. He is heading into nut country.
Dude, he's funny.
He is funny.
He really is a gag.
Yes.
It's like, sorry about our dead child. We're heading into nut country,
by the way. At 11:20 a.m., Air Force One departs for Dallas and arrives at 11:35 a.m. 11:40 to 12:30 p.m., the Kennedys, Governor John Connally, and the others greet the Dallas crowd and begin the motorcade. Okay?
Sure. Okay,
so
cool.
President Kennedy is shot at 12:30. Okay?
Okay.
So at 12:30, shots are fired into Dealey Plaza. Kennedy is struck in the neck and head, and Governor Connally is wounded. Witnesses recalled the first shot was fired after the president had started waving with his right hand, but onlookers also recalled hearing 3 shots.
Oh.
Basically, he gets struck by the bullets and then gets struck in the back as well, and the bullet like exits his throat and stuff. It's bad. Like it's a good shot. Like he does get. Basically,
he gets murked. Yeah.
Yes.
Yikes.
He raises his fist in front of his face and throat as he turns to the left towards his wife. There's a lot of specific stuff that goes on here that I don't think is necessarily super important unless we're like going. It's hard to do in the podcast medium, right? Because it's like unless we're gonna go shot by shot in the footage of it, because it's a motorcade, so like there's footage of him just fully getting shot, which is disgusting.
And they just plop that shit everywhere on the internet. By the way,
well, my mom said that she had seen it. Mm-hmm. And she must have been like, I don't know when she was born, but I think this is a phantom memory is my theory.
Oh, yeah.
Because let me do the math real quick to figure out what year my mom is born. Because
how old's your mom?
Wait, I'm doing this wrong. 25 minus 19. Wait, not 19. I'm doing the math really wrong. Yeah, she was born in 1962, so I don't think she remembered this.
She was 1 year old.
1 year old. This is like me being like, I remember 9/11, and it's like, I assure you, you did not.
But they probably replayed it on the news a bunch, right?
I think that's what it was.
Sure.
So basically, the 3 shots are fired in a time span from 4.8 to 7.9 seconds, and then basically immediately afterwards, a Secret Service person jumps in the convertible that they're in, and they speed away. At one point, Jacqueline tries to climb towards her husband because she's sitting in front of her husband, and then they push her back. She's got like his blood on her.
Yeah,
it's really crazy, and she is screaming like, "I have his brains on me! I have his brains on me!" and stuff. It's really troubling.
God.
And then they were like, "We're gonna go to the hospital." They're driving to the hospital.
Yeah.
I don't.
But yeah,
you
where
have
else?
to.
Where
you
else
have
are you
to,
gonna go?
You have to.
Like,
but
what else are you gonna do?
So that's at 12:30, and like because of the footage, there's a big clock, like kind of like one of those clocks in like buildings, and this all happened at 12:30, so we know exactly the time it happened at. At 12:33, Oswald leaves the building to the front door.
Oh my God.
He gets confronted by patrolman Marion Baker and the superintendent Roy Truly in the lunchroom, but the patrolman like lets Oswald go because he's doing this from his building, like his work building.
Yeah, I didn't realize he worked
at the building.
School.
He just got a job there very recently.
Yeah.
And which also again leads me to believe that I'm like, I understand that it could be like a conspiracy, but to me, I'm like, he got the job because of Ruth Payne. Like, I feel like he was just at work unwell, and they're like, oh my God, you know, the motorcade's gonna go right through here, and he was like, I have a rifle from that other failed assassination, you know?
I've got just the thing for this.
I've got just the thing for that.
It's a rifle.
Yes. So he leaves the building at approximately 12:33. At 12:35, the motorcade arrives at the hospital. At 12:40, Oswald walks east several blocks and boards a bus. Okay, so he's on a bus now.
He loves to hop on a bus.
4 minutes later, the bus gets stuck in traffic, and Oswald gets out and gets in a taxi.
Yeah.
At 12:45, so 1 minute later, Officer J.D. Tippett receives a radio order to drive to the central, like just to the area, to increase the police concentration around the area in the center of the city, because they're on the lookout for who the witnesses say they saw leaving the building that they think is the shooter.
Yeah.
So that's at 12:45. At 12:54, Tippett radios that he has reached the center of the city. And at that point, there are several messages saying, like, we're looking for a man who is in his early 30s, 5'10", and around 165 pounds. A slender white man is what they also say. Oswald is a slender white man. He's 24 years old, 5'9", and 135 pounds. So that's close enough that if you see him, you're like, yeah, that's...
He's 24?
Yeah.
That's been
Which also makes, like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, checks out.
Which also, yes.
He's not
a mentally ill age. 24 was bad.
Yeah, 24. Sorry, guys. I feel like we're traumatizing the 24-year-olds on this podcast all the time.
It's not that bad.
It's fine, guys. You guys will be
But if somebody
fine.
was like, what age do you think you would be
don't
the most
wanna go back
likely to
there.
do an assassination? It might be 24.
I don't even know what the fuck I was doing. Oh, I was doing Second City Conservatory.
Which is...
Wait, was I? No.
An assassination of the soul. Might be. I think so.
I don't know. I'll have to look at it later.
At 12:54, the taxi drops off Lee Harvey Oswald, basically right around where Officer J.D. Tippett is. Okay? So he goes into the rooming house that he's staying at. The housekeeper, Erlene Roberts, testifies that Oswald enters the house briefly, grabs his revolver and jacket, and leaves within minutes.
Sure.
Okay. At 1 p.m., Kennedy is pronounced dead.
Okay.
At 1:10, Tippett is driving slowly eastward on 10th Street, and he pulls alongside a man who resembles the police description. This is Lee Harvey Oswald. Okay? Oswald walks over to Tippett's car, and they exchange words through the window, and then Tippett opens his car door to begin approaching Oswald. Oswald draws his handgun and fires 4 shots in rapid succession at J.D. Tippett.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He's dead. He's basically dead instantly.
Oh my God.
He shoots him 3 times in the chest and then once in the head.
Yikes.
This is why you can't just let all young men join the military.
No. Yeah, you can't do it.
Like, he shouldn't know. That's not
He shouldn't know how to do that.
No.
No.
10 minutes later, Tippett is pronounced dead at the hospital, but, like, he was shot in the head. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
what are you going to do about that,
yes.
really?
So this is happening at, like, he shoots Tippett and has the altercation around 1:05 to around 1:10. So this is basically, like, 40 minutes after he's already shot JFK.
Jesus.
At 1:15, Oswald is seen acting suspicious near a movie theater. The shoe store manager next door, Johnny Brewer, notices him and follows him inside. Okay. And alerts the police, being like, there's a guy acting weird.
Oh my God.
And like erratic. Because he's just killed 2 people in the span of nary an hour. You know?
Yeah, sure.
So at 1:51 p.m., Lee Harvey Oswald is arrested inside the movie theater and taken into custody in the fatal shooting of Officer J.D. Tippit, which they know he did. But then they later obviously are like, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got to check this.
The movie he is watching when he is arrested is Burt Topper's Korean War drama, War is Hell.
Oh, no.
I wanted it to be something more. I thought it would be, I was looking it up because you can't like see it online necessarily, but I was like, I wanted to see like what movie he was watching.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping like a Sound of Music or something more kind of like fun.
Cabaret.
Yeah, like that would be fun, you know? So at 2 p.m., Kennedy's body is removed from the hospital and taken to Air Force One. At 2:38, Lyndon B. Johnson is sworn in as president aboard Air Force One.
Whoa.
And at 10 minutes later, they depart for Washington, D.C. And at 7 p.m. that night, Oswald is charged with Tippit's murder.
Oh, my God.
Now, there are 2 key events that happen after this assassination that are important to note.
Okay.
On November 24th, 1963, 2 days after the assassination, Lee Harvey Oswald is being transported from police headquarters, and he is shot and killed by the nightclub owner Jack Ruby at 11:21 a.m.
Okay.
So this is, again, I think why there are so many conspiracy theories around it, because we're never going to get like his full story, where it's like somebody like the Unabomber, who is somebody who also acted in these like strange, very erratic ways because he was apprehended and he's alive and he's just kind of talking random shit to people.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel, it's not a conspiracy because you have all the information, but like we'll never have all the information, and it does look suspicious. Again, I do think it's just one sole shooter, but to be like, oh, if one, that's like when like the mob hit happened. You know what I mean? Like if somebody who gets arrested and you're worried that he's gonna squeal on the mob, you send someone in to kill him. Like it narratively it makes sense. It's just that like real life isn't a story.
Yeah. Life doesn't come with a script.
Life doesn't come with a motherfucking script. Mm-hmm. But Jack Ruby, improv aficionado, kills Lee Harvey Oswald, and he was terminally ill, and Jack Ruby dies in jail like a couple of years later. Like he has like a pulmonary something with his heart going on.
Oh, jeez, okay.
And it was in retaliation for the Kennedy assassination.
Okay, sure.
Again, you can't just like create this world in which there's so many angry young men with nothing to lose and access to guns. Like,
why not?
Yeah,
so fun.
And then we'll obviously get into the Warren Commission later. This is the other event, but it concludes that Oswald acted alone, even though there are many conspiracy theories surrounding that.
Okay,
and Ruth Payne is one of the main key witnesses in that, which we'll go more into depth in that specifically because that's kind of a bit more its own thing. Yeah, we don't need to do more dates.
It's a whole to do,
but that's really it. So that's the timeline.
Damn, that's intense.
I know, it's a really packed day.
Yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald is in his little yellow top, which is what Allison wears when she goes all around Rosewood. He's in his little yellow top, getting up to some shit. What are your thoughts on this?
I think I thought I knew more about it than I did, so that was very interesting.
Yeah.
I understand how it seems conspiratorial.
It's made for conspiracy theories.
I'm like, as much as like I do kind of like hold as a belief that like most things we think are conspiracies are actually just like acts of human nature, it is very tempting to be like, that just all fell together really fucking conveniently.
Really compelling.
Yeah.
And we'll never really get like the answer on it. Like they declassify a bunch of JFK assassination files every single year, and I read a bunch of them before this we started the season, like not recently, but I read a bunch of them when I was like sick a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in them. Like they're never gonna tell us.
Yeah.
If it is, I truly believe. Like I honestly think, obviously Trump I think is a deplorable human, but I think if somebody was gonna tell us, it would be Trump. Like I just think he is mentally ill and brain
He's just unhinged enough to be like, you guys want to know what happened to Kennedy?
Yeah, like he would. You know what I mean? He would use it to kind of distract us from the evil shit he's doing, whatever.
He would like bomb everyone.
Yeah, and be like, but guys.
Do you guys want to know, if you guys want to know what happened to JFK?
Trump is kind of Cartman.
I know it is Cartman. I'm always... You guys want to know what happened to JFK?
But yeah, it's like, it is such a compelling narrative rife for conspiracy. Everything happens. It's very perfect. It's one of those things.
It's very perfect.
Like, it's very perfect. I think stuff happens. I think there's something here.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if there's something
shady.
But and that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know, maybe as I read more into this and we go into the like when we do the JFK assassination conspiracy episode, it's not out of the question that I will convince that I'll be like, no, there was a second shooter on the grassy knoll. There was a second shooter on the grassy knoll, like there had to be, because it's so it's just based on vibes at this point. Like you just get it's just like, what do you think? It's like a magic eye painting. It's like
I'm excited to hear more about this because like another part of me thinks that like there's seldom like kind of like new ideas. Like probably people were talking about this.
Yeah.
You know, he probably wasn't the only one who came up with like wanting to assassinate JFK.
Definitely.
Whether or not another guy was on the grassy knoll is TBD for the next
it's
step.
just accidentally. The other guy, there is a guy on the grassy knoll and he's like, oh
fuck, I was about to do that.
Shit.
Fuck.
Do you want
and that
to
man
do
is Donald Trump. Yes. Just kidding. Yeah, you want to go for it?
Yeah.
Let's make this tragedy about us.
This is the part of the podcast where we take this tragedy, JFK's assassination, and make it about us.
Hell yes.
So, Blair.
Yes.
I have talked often. Yes.
Oh, sorry, continue.
I have talked often about the Stephen King book, 11/22/63,
which I really want to read.
Yes, we should. I think we should do some kind of like, if we do a Girl Historians book club, I think that should be the first.
Gotta do a book club.
Right? That'd be fun.
Gotta do a book club.
It's basically a story where a Stephen King self-insert who's like, he goes back in time and he has to stop the Kennedy assassination.
Okay, cool.
You have to go back in time to stop the Kennedy assassination. How are you doing it?
I would go and hug Lee Harvey Oswald as a child.
Loving that. Just give him a bit more of a focus.
No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. I'd
get him into improv.
I would give them not a convertible. I think that's the obvious fucking answer. The fact that they were driving around with a convertible was fucking bananas.
Just waving. Yeah, 100%. It's one of the things that's like, this is so stupid. It's only going to happen once and then nobody's ever going to be in a damn convertible ever again.
You know what I mean? Also, just like the whole idea of like a motorcade, like it's kind of, I don't want to say it's asking for it, but it's kind of
But what was she wearing?
Especially because like, okay, sure. If you're in New York City, sure. If you're in Dallas, Texas, why the fuck are you driving around?
Nut country.
You're in nut country. You're driving around in a convertible.
I think I would call in a bomb threat.
Yeah, that's good.
And then be like, I'm gonna bomb the parade. Don't do the parade.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Although there's the big thing. I won't spoil it. Actually, what happens at the end of that Stephen King book about the timeline.
Okay, cool.
If we want to read it, but that's it.
Wow, thank you so much, Carly. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk more about this. Thank you for listening. And thank you all for being here.
Thank you. As always, check us out on the internet and Patreon and etc. And we'll see you next week.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.